Mm-mm. Okay, there we go. We are back again with another live stream. Let me quickly check if everything is working well, and then we can dive in today's stream, and I will give a quick update on what I think is going to be next for the markets this week. Okay, there we go. We are live. I will do a quick post on X also that I'm live for the people that do want to be joining in here. Give me a moment, and then we can discuss this week and the events we have ahead of us. I just see that the Bitcoin CME gap is getting close, so I think that is going to be interesting to discuss. It happening on Monday is usually kind of a good signal, I would say. So Bitcoin is somewhat cleared from off that CME gap for the rest of the week. Let me quickly check it on the 4 hourly or just on the Bitcoin CME chart. Indeed, CME gap getting filled here. Amazing. Okay, I will do that quick post and then we'll be back. Boom. Good morning from Michigan. Good morning, Crypto J. Welcome to have you back. I haven't seen you in a long time. Great to have you back. I think it was of the timings also because the timings of the recent live streams. I'm back in the European time zone now, so it's a little bit more easier for me this week to be live streaming basically. But today is going to be a short one where we will discuss what's going to be next this week, and I want to give my thoughts on the markets here for what we have ahead of us. Okay, I just did a quick post on X here also. Amazing, amazing. Let me quickly check it on the screen here. Here. Okay, perfect. Okay, let's dive in, guys. So let's discuss what's going to be next for this week. First of all, Bitcoin CME gap just got filled, so that is definitely amazing. We are clear of that CME gap for the rest of the week here, so that is the first important thing I'm currently seeing for the market here. Amazing. And what I want to discuss and what's going to be important for this stream, because for the people that have been watching my update videos and that have been watching the live streams lately, they know that I'm currently looking mostly into the Federal Reserve monetary policy. So what is the Fed going to be doing next year? What is the most important stuff here up until the 10th of December meeting, and what could be happening? Oh, I see some news coming in, by the way, which I do need to quickly check here. And then I will be, let me also fix this. Boom. I see some stuff coming in here. Trump to sign executive orders from the Oval Office at 4 p.m. Okay, I will quickly post that on the X and then I'm back. Sorry, guys. We mean to be a slave of the news sometimes. Oh, we have some more news coming out. Mm-mm. Let me check this. One moment. Okay, so Trump is going to sign some executive orders today. Here. Boom. And mm, mm, mm. More dumping coming. Let's see. We will discuss in a moment. I'm just catching up with some news. Okay. Okay, I'm back. What I just posted is we I basically started streaming immediately. We saw some news coming out, which I needed to post on the page, and that is that Trump is going to sign some executive orders in the Oval Office at 4 p.m. today, so a little bit late today. And the president of China said that the US relations continue to show positive momentum and calls on both sides to broaden their cooperation. So interesting stuff we are seeing coming out here currently. But what I did want to discuss for today's live stream is what we have upcoming for this week and why this week is going to be a very important one. I will quickly show it on my page here because I have been posting about it on X here, and that are the key events of this week. So what do we have ahead of us basically with the PPI inflation data tomorrow, then the initial jobless claims on Wednesday, and late on Wednesday also the PCE data. So what we have this week is some very interesting inflation data because the PPI and both PCE data are key metrics for US inflation and somewhat of the best indicators, I would say. And the Federal Reserve is of course very well interested looking into the US inflation to see where they want or if they want to cut rates at the 10th of December meeting. And actually today the rate cut odds have been moving ever so slightly back to the top side once again. So it seems like we are getting rate cuts in December, not only on the CME Group 2 here, but also on Poly Market. If we go to the rate cut decision, there's now 75% chance that the Fed is going to cut rates by 25 basis points in the next FOMC meeting. So this is going to cause some volatility because now the odds are quite high. If inflation is, for example, going to come out very hot, for example, the odds can drop to the downside still, and Bitcoin and crypto could also be dumping later this week. Bitcoin crypto could also be dumping because of the inflation data, for example, coming in very hot. Let's not hope that's going to happen, but it is most definitely a scenario which could play out. Initial jobless claims on Wednesday, so somewhat of an insight in the US labor market again. I don't think it will be affecting the markets by that much because we get initial jobless claims every single week, but we are still, I think now 2.5 weeks after the US government shutdown. So all of the data is going to be very welcome, I must say. And then the PCE data, which is more important inflation data. So both PCE and PPI. That's going to give us somewhat of a good outlook on US inflation this week. And what we do know from of US inflation now is if we look into true inflation, we can see that indeed the true inflation has been coming down ever so slightly. So that is indeed looking very good. And it seems like US inflation is cooling down. And I must say, every single time this tool was expecting hotter or cooler inflation, normally we've seen that the PCE and the PPI and also the CPI did follow this data. So that is indeed very interesting. And I'm looking forward to see how this time the inflation data is going to come out this week. because if it can be coming in cooler, the rate cutoffs are going to move ever so slightly higher. But the danger here now is that we can't be moving higher by that much, but we can be dropping lower by a lot. So keep that in mind. Most definitely we are going to have a lot of volatility, but that is very logical. And I will also write an update about this in the VIP Telegram group in just a moment here. But this is what we have ahead of us, and I will be live streaming all of the data. So I will be live streaming the PPI, the PCE, and initial jobless claims, all of this on the channel. So tomorrow and the day after, on Wednesday, we have 2 live streams, and tomorrow we have 1 live stream for the PPI inflation data. So make sure to come over and join the live streams, because it is going to be it is definitely going to be very important what we have ahead of us here. Then the stock market closed on Thursday because of Thanksgiving, and an early stock market close on Friday. So keep that in mind. Usually building up into Thanksgiving, we do see volume dropping by quite a lot, because big players are usually leaving the markets during Thanksgiving. So that is something we have to keep in mind, of course. But definitely the beginning of the week could be very volatile, and I'm definitely expecting big players to remain trading in some good volume there, because we have some important data points coming out. Let's also do a quick update on Bitcoin here. Like stated, Bitcoin just closed the CME gap, which is looking good. Immediately from the CME gap, we are bouncing back up now, so that is indeed looking very good. If we put on the last price here, 86k, looks a very strong bounce actually from the 85k level. Looks very good for Bitcoin. Now we are moving up ever so slightly once again. So amazing to see that the CME gap is getting filled up here. Looks good. If we dive back into the charts, we have the Coinbase Premium Index. Let's refresh this one, because this is definitely important. Coinbase Premium, yeah, US entities are selling once again, and the Bitcoin price is once again following. So interesting. For the rest, BlackRock inflows we are going to see tomorrow. Not that much. I still think, yeah, maybe I should give an update on my trading positions here, because my Ethereum trading position is now basically trading at the same levels like we have seen this morning, making my update video. Look at this price action. This quite weird price action, I must honestly say. But yeah, not much of a difference there for the ATM trading position. I do want to say, if you do want to join me with the ATM trading position, make sure to come over to LBank to claim your 50% deposit bonus and your generous refund up to 5k. You can still be claiming this offer with the link in the description under this live stream, so make sure to come and check it out. Also, if you do have any questions now at the start of the week here about what's going to be next here, about the markets, make sure to drop them in the comments now, because now we can talk about them. Because in the upcoming live streams later in this week, I won't have as much time to discuss, for example, stuff in big detail. Then I will be focused on the data itself and on the markets, of course, because it's going to get quite interesting here. Let me also give my thoughts on altcoins once again, because this is something I have been very clear about in all of my update videos and the live streams. What do I think of altcoins? I think this is going to be the most important thing. QT is going to be ending on the 1st of December, so in about 6 days QT will be ending here, which is absolutely amazing. Last time QT ended, we do know what happened. We saw QE getting started, and we saw a major altcoin season. What I do think is a little bit misleading. I see a lot of people posting this chart and then comparing this QT ending with this QT ending. So the QT ending of 2019 here in September, comparing it with the 1st of December. The thing is, you can make the comparison, of course, but it's not guaranteed that after the QT ends, QE is going to get started. So it might play out very different here. And that's what we do need to keep in mind, because it doesn't mean QT is going to end and we are going to get QE immediately. I think it's logical, since QE is ending, that at some stage you're going to get QE. You're going to get the shift in the monetary policy. It is going to happen eventually. But I think it's a little bit misleading to compare them, because we do not know anything about a potential start of QE. We have not heard anything from the Fed about the potential start of QE. So I don't think we should be expecting it. Of course, I will keep my eyes open for the words QT and QE. So quantitative tightening and quantitative easing at the next FOMC, 10th of December. Because that's going to be very important one in about 16 days here. Of course, I will keep my eyes open to it, and maybe they will be discussing it, but for now, it doesn't look like that is going to be the case. So keep it in mind. And when we are going to get some clarity about potential QE getting started, and I think that QT ending is also going to ignite some positive momentum for altcoins. We can already see that this started to happen here after the major capitulation event. I think if we get some clarity about QE, then it's going to be an interesting moment to scale back into altcoins once again. But I think me and also a lot of other people have learned our lessons that during the quantitative tightening phase, it is going to be very hard to be invested in altcoins, because we saw it here. QT got started, and in that period we saw the top getting in and we saw only bleeding. Here we saw major QE, QT got started. We've only seen QT in this entire cycle. Bitcoin remained moving higher, but altcoins just kept on bleeding further to the downside. So I've learned my lesson here, and I think this is going to be the best for now. And that is why I'm live streaming all of the upcoming events, why I do want to be live streaming all of this data and the other stuff, because all of it could be having a big effect on the Federal Reserve monetary policy. So that's why we need to be sharp on exactly the data, and that's why we need to be live streaming it and discussing it with each other. Bup, 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 bup. So yeah, that is basically what we are going to have for this week. And I hope all of you guys will be tuning in the live streams once again. I don't see a lot of people tuning in now, but I most certainly know that a lot of people will be tuning in once again at the next live stream with the next important data points once again. But let's keep this in mind. 16 days we have ahead of us, so all of the data points are going to be major ones. I will also quickly show here on the economic calendar what it's going to be looking like for also third and this week only, because now we don't have a lot. But on Tuesday then indeed the PPI, on Wednesday here the initial jobless claims, and then later the PCE price index like stated. Then on Wednesday, not a lot actually. The week after, ISM manufacturing PMI. This is on Monday, it's an interesting one. Then on Thursday, initial jobless claims once again. Trading balance, imports, export. This doesn't matter that much in my opinion, but maybe it does now. Let's see. Then 5th of December, not a lot. 9th of December, JOLTS jobs opening report. That's going to be an important one. And then on the 10th of December, we have the FOMC meeting. There it is. JOLTS jobs opening. Yeah, so not that much data points up until the 10th of December, I must say. But all of them are going to be big ones. And I think this week is actually the week with the most data even, before the next FOMC. So let's see. And I must say I don't see a lot of people joining in today. Much less than normally. Maybe it's because of the thumbnail or something, I don't know. But I just want to give my quick thoughts about what I think is going to be next for this week. I hope all of you guys will be tuning in for the next live streams. If you are still looking for an exchange to be trading on, make sure to check out LBank, claim your 50% deposit bonus and your generous refund on LBank here, because the offer is still going to be available for the next 14 days. So make sure to come and check it out. Also be prepared for some volatility ahead of us today, because I see that indeed Trump is going to sign some executive orders and we have some more stuff happening tonight. So make sure to be prepared for exactly that and come over to the channel now. Subscribe to the channel, put on the notifications, and then we can be live streaming all of the important data for this week, tomorrow and the day after, because it is going to be very important. And guys, since I don't see a lot of people, I don't see a lot of questions, I think it's better to end the stream for today. spare a little bit of energy, and then we can be going all in tomorrow with all of the important data and much, much more. So that's going to be the game plan. I wish all of you guys an amazing afternoon here, evening, morning, depends on your time zone, of course. And I hope you guys will come over to the live streams later in this week because it's going to be super and super important. So make sure to be there. And I will see you guys within the next update video tomorrow morning also.